Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Vikram. In this class, we'll try to understand two-dimensional arrays. So the concept of arrays, we have covered nearly 3 to 4 videos in our previous videos. We have taken nearly 3 to 4 videos for arrays. The concepts that we have seen so far about the arrays is what we call it as one-dimensional array. So all those arrays, declarations, implementations, arrays and memory, so all those concepts are for one dimensional. Those arrays are one dimensional arrays. In this class, we'll try to understand two dimensional arrays. What is meant by a two dimensional array? An array of arrays is known as two dimensional array. It looks very simple, but to understand this concept, so understanding this concept is a bit complex to understand. So our suggestion is to watch this video as many times as possible until you get the clarity, and we are going to deliver this concept very slowly, and we will try to make this concept as simple as possible to get the clear understanding of the concepts. Now jumping to the concept two-dimensional array declaration. So how a two-dimensional array can be declared? So it is same as that of array. The difference is here we are going to use two square brackets, enclosed square brackets. One is representing the row of an array and the other is representing the column of an array. So what is that? What does that mean? So what does that mean is, to understand a two-dimensional array, we will try to understand it by using the concept of table or the concept of a matrix. So just try to understand. We'll try to understand this by using the concept of matrices. So here, whenever this kind of declaration is made, an array A can be visualized as a matrix or as a table. Okay. So what this array declaration states is, this first subscript states that it is having this array. It is a two-dimensional array, means it is also having another axis called x-axis. The elements of the array are arranged in the x-axis also. So in the previous example, we have seen only one-dimensional arrays. Okay, but we are having the elements of the arrays are arranged in the row-wise order also. Okay, so that is the reason why we call it as array of arrays, or known as array of arrays is known as two-dimensional arrays. Okay, so we are having two rows and three columns. The elements are arranged in such way. So we are having two rows and three columns. 1, 2, 3. So the indexes of the indexes possible for this array, for this rows, are 0, 1, and for this it is 0, 1, 2. As we are having three columns, the indexes are 0, 1, 2, and as we are having two rows, the indexes are 0, 1. So the index for this row is 0, and for this row is 1, and for this column the index is 0, and for this column the index is 1, and for this column the index is 2. Okay, so now each box is what we call it as an element. So here we are having one element, here we are having second element, third element, fourth element, fifth element, and sixth element. So with a matrix of 2 by 3, the number of values that are possible is, with a matrix of 2 by 3, the number of values that are possible are 6 values. As we are having 2 rows and 3 columns, the number of possible boxes are 6. Okay, so this with this declaration we are going to we can visualize this concept in this way. Okay, so now how to initialize an array? How to initialize an array is, this is how the initialization can be done. So this is the first three values of the column wise values of the array, and this is for the first row, and this is for the second row. So these values are the second row values, and these each value will insert in a column. Okay, so now what this initialization is going to do is, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so this is how the initialization of an array can be done. So the inner square brackets, the inner what we call it, floor braces are going to represent the values stored in each and every row. So these are the values that are stored in each and every row. So these 1, 2, 3 will get stored in first row with an index 0, and 4, 5, 6 will get stored in an index in the second row with an index 1. Okay, so now we can how to access these values. How to access these values is, for example, if you want to access this 2, how that can be done is, this first brace, enclosed brace, is going to represent row, and this second brace, enclosed brace, is going to represent a column. This is going to represent a row, and this is going to represent a column. So in order to access 2, we have to go to the 0th row and the first column. So this point is representing the value of 2. So 0th row and first column, what is the intersection point? The intersection point, what is the value that is stored, is what we are going to get that value. So in order to access 2, we have to give a of 0 comma 1, 0 1. A of 0 1 is going to get, is used to get 2. Similarly, how to get this value? How to get this 6? How to access the 6 is a of, we are in the first row and in the second column. So the intersection point is this one, second column and first row. We are going to get 6. Okay, this is how the elements will get accessed. But the very important point to understand is how the things will get stored in the memory. This point is very important. So do we have this kind of memory, two-dimensional memory, to store these values? No, we don't have the memory in that way. We are having only a linear memory where the values will get stored one after the other, as we have covered those concepts in our previous videos. So in the same way, the values will get stored in the memory, but we are visualizing the things in 2 dimensions, in the x and y axis dimensions. But how these values will get stored in memory? So that is done in 2 different ways. C programming uses either any one of these ways. One of the ways is row measure order, and the other one is column measure order. So we'll try to understand it clearly. Okay, so that diagram is important. So as we have said that how the values will get stored, how many values are there? The number of values that we have are 6 values. So the visualization of 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional or n-dimensional or 1-dimensional is always going to be in this way. So the memory will always be in the linear way. So okay, so the number of elements, or 6 elements are there. 6 elements are there. So the first element index, so the first element index is 0 0. This element index is 0 1. This element index is 0 2, and this element is 1 0, 1 1 and 1 2. Okay, they are the indexes of the each and every element. Okay, so now the index of 0 0, the value stored is 1 0 1. So as we have discussed that the elements of that matrix can be arranged in the memory in 2 different ways. One is row measure, and the other one is column measure. Okay, so there are 2 different ways. What is meant by row measure ordering means, if we store the elements row by row, it is what we call it as row measure. A compiler can use either a row measure order or column measure order. Okay, if the compiler is using row measure order, how these values will get stored is, row by row the values will get stored. So the first value will come here, second, third, row by row. First row has been done, second row is 4 5 6. If the elements are stored in this way, it is what we call it as row measure order. Similarly, if the compiler is using column measure order, how the things will get stored is, it is column by column. So first this column, next this column, next these column elements will get stored in one after the other. So the first column and the first value is 1, the next one is 4, the next one is 2, the next one is 5, and the next one is 3, and the next one is 6. If the arrangement is done in this way, a compiler can be designed by using any one of these methods. This is row measure, this is row measure, and this is a column measure. Based upon the columns, if the things are getting arranged, it is column measure. So it is 0 1, the index of this is 0 1, and the next one is 0 2, 1 0, 1 1, 1 2. If it is column measure order, what is this value? It is 0 0, next one is 1 0, next one is 0 1, 1 1, 0 2, and 1 2. So this is how the column measure order elements will get arranged, and this is how the row measure elements will get arranged. Okay, so this is the basic knowledge on two-dimensional arrays, how the arrays elements can be declared and how the initialization is done. If it is a row measure order, how the values will get stored in the memory, and how the values will get stored if it is a column measure order. So hope you got the clarity on this concept. In the next video, I'll try to understand if it is a row measure order, what is the formula that is used to access the elements. If it is a column measure order, what is the formula that is used to access those elements. So the next video is also very important to understand. Try to focus more on this video and the next video, because these two videos are very important to understand and a bit complex videos to understand. Hope you got the clarity on this concept. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. And if you have any doubts regarding this concept, please post your doubt in the comment section below. And if you feel that this video is helpful to you, please give us a like symbol and please share this video with your friends so that they will also get benefited. Thanks for watching.